Okay, so here what I have done is I have drawn the property lines accepting the location of the found evidence. Found evidence is the iron post that we have found in the field, okay? So that is something that I will always do. So the drawing that I sent you, it's going to look like this. It will have the property lines, okay? If I go to Paperspace, I have actually set up the viewport the way I want it to look. So I have one viewport here at 1 to 200. Always make sure that it's locked, okay? So it shows the evidence that was found here, the evidence that was found here, and the evidence that was found here. Now, if I go back to model space, there is a piece of evidence that was found up here. Now, I won't be able to fit the whole thing at 1 to 200. That's why I've created a second viewport here. Okay, and this one I've created at 1 to 500, so it will be smaller and fit in here. And I've put it right there. And right here, where the two viewports meet, we're going to place one of these blocks, which is like a break line. Okay, turn off my um, snap, and I'll just put it right here and rotate it kind of so that it looks kind of like this. Now this is a block, it's called break line, and you can just import it by typing I for insert break line and then give it a rotation and everything. Okay, now here we're probably going to say something like not to scale. So let me see if I go back to here. I think I have something like this. Copy that, go back to Paperspace, paste it. This is at 1 to 200, so I want to make it 1 to 1000. So I need to scale it by 5. Okay, so we'll just say here, either say not to scale. Not to scale is probably fine. Just see here. And if I put this right there, something like that. Okay. Now, when I go and label these, because we need to show how the property lines were actually found, defined, right? So I need to label each one of these lengths. Okay. So right now, everything is on layer adjacent plans. The property lines for the subject property need to be on layer lot line. Okay, so I need to do that. So right now this is a straight line from this piece of evidence to this piece of evidence. So I'm going to type in the break command and break this line right at that corner. And I'm going to do the same thing for this guy right here. Okay, and then I'm going to select the line work and the arcs for the subject property and put them on layer lot line. Okay, now let's add some labels. Labels are put on layer text dimension. So general, add label, line and curve. Let's add labels for this, this, this. I need to basically dimension all the way up to this pin because that's the other piece of evidence that we found. Okay. All right. So I've basically labeled everything that needs to be shown. All right. Now, what I like to do is I explode these labels. So I go select similar. I select them all. There's 8 of them, and I just type in X for explode. Okay. They became blocks. All right. So now what I do, I want to explode them more. I want to make, if I explode this right now, it becomes M text. Each one of these is a different piece of M text. If I explode again, now these are all just text. Okay. Now to do them all at once, what I can do is type in lay ISO for layer isolate and select all of these, select them all. So there's 31 of them. There's 7 blocks and 24 text. This is the quick select button. So I can say, okay, select, give me all the blocks, select all, okay, and type in X for explode. Now they became mtext, so now I just can explode. And basically I'm just dealing with bare text right now. Okay, let's turn everything else back on. Okay, now these ones for the subject property, they need to be on a different layer. Okay, so the text that's for the subject property, instead of being on layer text dimension, needs to be on layer text lot dimension. Okay, and make sure that it's by layer, so the color comes out blue. It's on color 160. Color 160 will draft blue, so that when I plot this, everything with blue lines and blue text is for the subject property. Okay, now if I take a look at Paperspace, you can see that all those dimensions are right there. Now where we actually found evidence, we need to put the symbol there, and right over here we have found I symbols. Okay, so this is a block. It's actually annotative at 1 to 200, and that's the text that goes with it. So I'm just going to Control Shift C, pick that, and put it right on there. There's one there, one right here, one right here, and one right here. Okay, so these arrows where we have a pin, we can just delete those. It's only where we don't have a pin that I would like to leave those there. So we can delete this one, we can delete that one, and we can delete, there's nothing over there. Now, these descriptions, you'd have to look at the field notes to see what it says, and then copy that. So what I mean by that, here it says found I suspected to be bent. Okay, so this one will just say found I bent. This one will say found I surface. This one found I top cut off, so TCO. And then this one will say found I top cut off bent. Okay, so I'm going to put this page on my second screen, and right here, this one will just say found I bent. Bent. This one found I surface. So SUR. And I'm just going to move it a little bit closer. Found I bent. Used I hole. Okay. And sometimes I do this. This stuff will be frozen when we plot it, so don't worry about that. And this one is found I TCO top cutoff. That's all I need to say for that one. Found I top cutoff. Bent used I hole. Okay, let's get into drawing some of the house and stuff. All right, so going back to my field note, going back to the field notes here, I have the sketch. Here we have the outline of the house with the dimensions of it. So I'm simply going to draw this house based on these dimensions. Okay, so again, I'm going to put this on my second screen. Now the house needs to be on layer building, so make that the current layer. Turn on my ortho by clicking here, or F8. Okay, and I'm just going to draw the house by looking at my second screen with the dimensions. So I'm going to type in L for line, and all the lines are going to be perpendicular to each other. So 12.5, 1.22, 7.9. 2 was originally what it was at, and my field guide measured 7.91. So that just doesn't matter. Well, let's just do 7.92, 2.9, 0.61, 5.49, 8.74, 0.46. Okay, so I've drawn up to there. Now this is the last part. It's very important. The last dimension is 4.72. Okay, what happened there? Okay. 4.72. Okay, now if you remember, I started from this corner, I went all the way around, and we came back here. This right here, this is called the misclosure. So the distance from right there to right there is 14 millimeters. Now, why is that? Well, things aren't, there's always an error in everything that we do. So that's why there is. Now, another thing I want to bring to your attention is these dimensions, which are in meters. Okay, houses typically are built, the dimensions of the houses are an even number in feet. So what is 12.50 in feet? So 12.5 divided by 0.3048, I get 41.01 feet. So I bet you the length of this wall is actually 41 feet. What is 41 feet? So 41 times 0.3048 becomes 12.4968. Okay, so if you really want it to be accurate, this length should be 12.4968 meters. And I bet you if you did that for every single one of these lengths, you get some even number in feet. And if you drew it based on that, then you will have a misclosure of 0. For this exercise, this is good enough. Okay, I'm just going to stop it there.